Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. Friday Night Lights, as they say, and we have an absolute cracker coming your way very, very shortly. France are hosting Los Pumas, who were 3 points off a shock victory over Argentina last weekend, and they're going to be facing themselves tonight because they are playing some of the best rugby I've ever seen an Argentinian side play. And it's going to be very interesting. There's a couple of big changes to both sides. And an extra thing that they last played last week Friday. So they've had a 7-day turnaround. France, on the other hand, had to go toe-to-toe right towards the end against New Zealand. And they've had a 6-day turnaround. So it could be a little bit tired in the legs. And Argentina will be licking their lips because this is an opportunity really for them to go and make the type of statement that they've been wanting to make all year. They beat South Africa at home, and they deserved it, but they'll be very cognizant of the fact that it was a slightly rotated side, for example, at home as well. They're now up against a full-strength French side at home, and I think people have sort of forgotten how good France are, and last week I think a bit of a reminder of just how good they really are, and yeah, I think we're in for an absolute fantastic clash. So I'm going to put a poll in the comment asking who you guys are supporting. I already got it actually in. So Argentina, by the way, got 60% so far of the votes. So it seems to be pretty one-sided so far with regards to who people want to win. But we're going to sort of settle and go through the teams in just a little bit. But I want to sort of get a bit of a check-in. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're supporting, and what your thoughts are on the game itself. As we are about 15 minutes away from kickoff. And I just want to share the link, get the buggers into the chat, and we can sort of chat a bit of rugby on a Friday night. Last Friday night game, by the way, of autumn international action. Last weekend, really, of major autumn action. There is Australia versus England, I think it is next week. I want to say. Ireland versus Australia next week Saturday, but this is the final big weekend. So in terms of your games to come, by the way, France versus Argentina tonight. Tomorrow we'll be live for Ireland versus Fiji, Wales versus South Africa, Italy versus New Zealand, Scotland versus Australia, as well as England versus Japan. Non-stop action here on Forever Sports over the weekend. So settle in really, and if you are new, then subscribe to the channel and welcome to the community. So I just want to get this out onto the socials and get people to come and join us. And it is absolutely cooking in South Africa over here, so I am sweltering. But apparently very cool conditions over there. Short Edwards saying that apparently the rain and the likes has made it quite difficult for preparations. But let's have a look at the side that Fabian Gaultier has picked, and is a very big absentee who was pulled off early last week, and I wonder if it is on the back of that performance that he's not featuring. So in the front row, it is Jean-Baptiste Gross, Piotr Muavaka, and Unai Antonio who returns, the absolute giant behemoth of a tight head. And this is one of the biggest front rows, if not the biggest front row in World Rugby. 145 kg is Antonio. Yeah, proper player. Obviously born in New Zealand, but grew up and has played his rugby in France. In the second row, it is Tabal Flamen next to Emmanuel Mirfou, who, again, you talk about absolute units, then it doesn't get much bigger than the 140-odd kg lock. 26 years old, also New Zealand born, quite a lot of them in this French side. The back row is a change because there's no Gregory Eldred in the 23. Now, he was pulled off early last week. He often goes the full 80, and very uncharacteristic for him not to play a full 80, let alone not be named. Now, some people are saying that he's been dropped. Short Ed was very quick to say no, he's just been playing a lot of rugby, he's been arrested. I don't think you generally would rest a player in the last international game of the season, of the year, unless he was playing badly. You know, Anton Dupont, for example, is not going to get rested even if he's played as much rugby as Gregory Eldred. So the back row is Francois Cross, Paul Boudinot, and Charles Oulifant will start in the number 8 jersey. Still a very good French back row, and in general, a very good French pack. If you look at the halfback pairing, it is Anton Dupont next to Thomas Ramos, and who is switched to to fly half from full back, much to the displeasure of Mathieu Jalabert, who elected to leave the squad after he was named on the bench. Or he was told he was going to be on the bench last week, and he said, "Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't sit on the bench, not for a makeshift fly half. So I'm out of here. And he actually left the camp. So very, very strange situation over there. It doesn't get much more French, does it, than a player deciding that he's not going to play on the bench. He's rather leave and walk away than be subjected to the embarrassment or the shame of benching. So very, very odd. But what can you do? Love a little bit of French drama, don't we? So that is the back row. And the centre pairing is Euro Mofana next to Gael Fiku. Nice centre pairing. And then pace on pace on pace. Louis Biabare is in the number 11 jersey. Gaben Villera in the number 14. And I tell you what, somebody who's taking the rugby world by storm is Leo Barra, who's very new to his French career, the 22-year-old. Nice and big, about 1.9, so about 6'2", 6'3", and playing just a 6th game tonight. But I'll tell you what, plenty of talent over there. So it's a very exciting French back three, and this could be a very interesting back three for years to come. So we'll watch out for the 2 scrum caps on the wings. Plenty of pace between those two. Off the bench for the French, it is Julien Marchand, Redawari, and George Henry Colum, who struggled a little bit last week at scrum time. We'll be looking for a bit more of an assured performance tonight. The other replacements are Alexandre Rumat, Michael Gouliard, Marco Gazzotti, Nolan Agaric, and Emilian Guilloton. If we look at Argentina, very, very consistent with the selections is Felipe Contepone. In the front row, it is Thomas Gajo, Julian Montoya, and Joel Slavi, who I thought those three had a very nice, decent game last week, actually. Second row is Guido Petty, and I really enjoyed the work of Pedro Rubiolo. I think he's been a revelation, really, for Argentina since he started coming in and starting. 21 years old. Not the tallest man as locks go, but 193, but very, very promising player. And this is the thing when it comes to this French pack. So many good youngsters, and this Argentinian pack. So many youngsters in it, and I think if they can really keep this group together, they already potentially could go up to 4th, 3rd best in the world. And you look at, Rubiolo, 21 years old. Jean-Marc Gonzalez, I think, is 23 years old. Oviedo, 22 years old. So you got experience in the likes of Montoya, Joel Slavi, Guido Petty is a nice experience, but that back row for me is arguably one of the best back rows in world rugby at the moment. Pablo Matera, Jean-Marc Gonzalez, and Jacqueline Oviedo. That's before you even throw in a Marcus Kremer, for example, who's on the bench. In the halfback pairing, there is a change. Gonzalo Garcia will partner Thomas Albanese. He's been absolutely fantastic for Argentina. He's been at the heartbeat, really, of this really improved and new look type of Argentina side. And I think he has been a major difference from where they've been to where they are now at the moment. Really coming good this year, and very excited to see his continued progression in that number 10 jersey. The centers are Matheus Moroni and Lucio Cinti. Very experienced Matheus Moroni. Lucio Cinti, the youngster, a very exciting player. I think he's one of those players that the more he plays, the better he'll get. Just 24 years of age, and actually notched up quite a lot of caps. Played quite a lot of the World Cup last year. Made his debut very young, and is now starting to really get an extended period. And then you got Batista Delgui, Rodrigo Isgro in the 2 wings, and Jean-Cruz Malia back at full back, where he was deputizing. Well, not deputizing. He was backed at 10 by Michael Cheika, but Felipe Contepone, who knows what a 10 looks like, has come in and said, nope, Thomas Albanese is this man, and moved Jean-Cruz Malia to his original position where he's played most of his rugby in his career, and that is at 15. Off the bench, it is Ignacio Ruiz, Ignacio Calles, and Francisco Gomez Gadela. Then you got Franco Molina, Marcus Kremer, Laura Bazenvales, Santiago Carreras, and Mateo Carreras as well. Let me get some score predictions into the chat there, people. How do we see this one going? What are we backing here? The Stade de France, it is absolutely incredible atmosphere. Having been there, I can verify it is a phenomenal stadium. And at the moment, we've got all the lights off, the flamethrowers are up, and it's always an occasion. And this is what I love about, say what you want, but the Six Nations sites put out a show. The Millennium Tomorrow roof closed should be, and it should be quite an occasion. So at the moment, still Argentina very much dominating that poll for who you're supporting, although it had lost a little bit of momentum. It was 60% earlier, now up down to 59%. And I want to know, what are your score predictions, people? What do we think? Why are the people in the French side that have just had a shower? You can go out there, have a warm-up, then come have a shower. It's a bit of an odd one for me. And as usual, I am sitting here looking at this Argentina kit and saying, when am I going to get involved? This jacket is... I actually tried to find it last week, to be fair. because I like it so much. And now here come the French, both. In fact, I don't think the French actually kitted out by Adidas. So ironically, the Coq Sportif is kitting out Argentina. A couple of teammates there. A lot of the Argentinians playing in the top 14, so they know each other quite well. To a lot of these players, and interested to see how some of that information might translate. But yeah, and Tracy says, hi from Ireland. Hope the Pumas win this one. They have been great to watch so far. They really have, haven't they? And I think under Felipe Conte-Pony, they're only going to get better. And it's amazing how good he's made them in a year. Not that they were a bad side. They were a good side last year, but I thought that they kind of lost maybe the edge a little bit to a certain degree. Now they are really looking like the full Monty, as they say. Their attack is so multifaceted, so lethal. Don't give them an inch because they'll take it. And I think if they score early I think last week, had they not conceded those 2 early tries, I think that they could have gone really all the way. And which maybe sounds very simplistic, but it generally is. You know, we spoke before last week about what they couldn't do early on, and that was concede a yellow card, for example, concede a couple of early tries. It's exactly what they did do last week, and they were basically out the game. And then they clawed their way back, but at the end it was just one step too far. They couldn't get over the line. And that's what they need to be very cognizant of this week, is not fall too far behind too quickly. Make sure that they are in the game by, for example, half-time and the likes, and that they don't concede a couple of very early soft tries, because they could be out the game before they know it. And what a waste that would be. We're waiting here for the national anthems, and then we will have kickoffs. So, as I said, last opportunity now to get your score predictions in and let me know who you are supporting. At the moment, we've got 61 votes. Continue to vote in that poll, please. And yeah, give me your score predictions. Let me know what you're thinking down in that poll. And then tomorrow, we've got an absolute stacked day of watch-alongs. It is Ireland versus Fiji, Wales versus South Africa, Italy versus New Zealand, and then Sunday, Scotland versus Australia, probably the other big game of the weekend, followed by England versus Japan. Next week, the sole game, Ireland versus Australia. Australia, by the way, looking to try and actually do the Grand Slam. They are currently undefeated over in Europe, and what impressive they've been. Beat Wales, obviously, that was last weekend. Pretty straightforward, really, result in the end. But that upset against England was a big one, and the question is, can they now get a result over Scotland this weekend? If they were, could they go and do it against Ireland? And the Argentina national anthem currently going over here. A lot of very focused faces across the Argentinian squad. A couple of fans in the stadium, a couple of football jerseys, as you kind of come to expect. But much bigger football rivalry, this really, traditionally, than a rugby rivalry. Obviously, this was the World Cup final we had a couple of years ago in the football sphere. So two teams that are very dominant in these two sports. And yeah, there'll definitely be a little bit of animosity towards some of the Argentinians because of that football World Cup, where they unfortunately did come short. Let's see if they can sort of get one back for their football counterparts, the French, that is. For Argentina, it's far more of them trying to get one over France from a traditional point of view in terms of the results we've seen recently between these two sides. Some good players here to watch. So players that I'm looking out for, obviously in the French side, you always got to keep your eye on Antoine Dupont. But in the midfield, I really like Yohan Mioufana. I think that in the pack, Emmanuel Mioufou is a really good player. And I think Piotr Mavaka has benched Julien Marchand, which shows you how good he is. I thought he was absolutely tremendous last year in the World Cup. In fact, I was actually very chuffed when he was playing against the Box when they actually took him off. Very relieved. For Argentina, Julian Montoya always offers a good performance. I love the back row. Jean-Martin Gonzalez is one of my favorite players in World Rugby at the moment. Thomas Albanose, watching him cook is always a good time. And then watch out for Lucio Cinti in the outside centre position. Nice, young, good player to keep an eye on as well. As the French national anthem. Jeepers, did I hear this anthem a lot last year in France? Throughout the game as well, when in doubt, they just sort of suddenly just start throwing out a rendition. So yeah, you don't get out of a World Cup in France without hearing this national anthem at least 4 to 5 times an evening. But it's a great national anthem, so fair enough, really, fair enough. And as it echoes around the stadium, it is very special. You do kind of get sort of goosebumps when you hear it. And I mean, just look at that stadium. You've got all the lights on, the fireworks, the crowd currently in the dark. The players are lit up. And there it is. Stade de France lights up to reveal all the big French supporters, and having another look at that pack. Oh, it's so powerful. Such a literally large unit of players. And that's what's going to be interesting to see how Argentina cope with the physicality that France will bring. You know, the box kind of provided a blueprint in terms of you want to get that pack moving as much as possible. Now they have outlawed the DuPont law, for example, where they'll do a lot of that. They'll kick, for example, and as soon as that person, the receiver had run more than 10 meters, you will then put it back on side. That has changed, which means the pack does have to move around a lot more. And interesting to see how sort of they've been adjusting to that. But this Argentinian side, an extra day of rest, for example, is that going to give them a bit of an advantage? Could that be the difference tonight? They've definitely got the team to do it, to try and have a go at this French side, but have to start well, do the Argentinians, because if the Los Pumas don't, then they're a very good side of getting themselves out of games before they even really begin, unfortunately. Please do smash like on the video, by the way. Let's see if we can get up to 20, 30 likes during that first half. Very even bench. I think is actually almost a little bit more quality in the Argentinian bench, in the likes of a Marcus Kramer, for example, Santiago Carreras, Mateo Carreras, very nice players. Then French bench, look out for the likes of Julian Marchand, obviously. Le Garric's a nice player. And it looks like France will have kickoff. And I think they'll be playing right to left in the first half. France in their traditional navy blue, Argentina in their sky blue and white. The referee in the middle is Luke Pierce, one of the best in the business. And hoping we don't talk about him too much, because that's the sign of a good referee performance, really, is when you don't really mention him. He doesn't come into the fray. But we always seem to be talking about referees, don't we? It seems to become the usual type of chat. Right, we do have kickoff as Thomas Ramos goes down the right-hand side, right up against the touchline. It's an early touch and a very good touch as well from Rodrigo Isgo. Sadly, he's actually Batista Dalgi, but nice carry there coming from Pablo Matera, and Gonzalo Garcia digging for the ball. And he goes to himself, goes to the box, kick a couple of chases. It hasn't gone particularly far. This will be contested and knocked backwards, and it falls into the hand of Joel Slavi. And Pablo Matera gets his first carry of the day. And it's a solid carry as well. Good work by him. And goes to the booters. Thomas Albanos, another contestable. A couple of people pointing at each other, and Gael Fika goes up, but it falls this time to Mufana, who knocks it forward. And it'll be an early scrum here for Argentina. So already going to the boot quite often there. Argentina went to the box kick, then straight back to Albanos. He went up. And now, big opportunity here. Joel Slavi and Thomas Gazro are going to have a go at the giant that is Una Turner and Jean-Baptiste Gross. Almost a hard tackle there from Gross on Pablo Matera, but working really, really hard in the tackles. Really good work from him. Missing Cyril by a lot at the moment are France. What a player he is. Goodness me. Right, let's see. This is going to be an interesting one, the scrum battle here. Set piece dominance is always often where you get your attacking tendency. The ball's got a straight down free kick here for Argentina. And it's been, almost knocked on by Oviedo, who has tap was a little bit further forward, but he took it on the bounce and up towards the 10-meter line. Nice and flat goes Guido Petty. In fact, Rubiolo. Garcia almost caught in the ball there. Ball sort of bobbled out there. Didn't have as much time as he'd have liked. Now available for Thomas Albanos, spinning in a scrum half. He pops up to Pablo Matera. Big tackle coming on him from Unai Antonio, as well as Mavaka. Now space out wide here for Argentina. Numbers, looking for the quick hands. Comes off of Vieira. Goes back into it, goes Delgado. Penalty advantage for Argentina as well. Fiorello dives. Rubiolo knocks it up in the midfield. Just short of the 10-meter line. Spaced on the right-hand side if they want to try and use it. Going short there to Gonzalez. Fighting hard in the tackle as well. Eventually driven back by his opposite number, Paul Boudinot. Now Matera once again. Ball in two hands, looking for options for the offload as well. Left to behind, there's Garcia. Still penalty advantage for Argentina. Pops it up short to Jean-Cruz Maillet to Joel Slavi. Can't quite offload. But still a lot of space on the left-hand side. Albanose. Kick through. You have Matheus Moroni for Delgado to run through. I tell you, he's got a lot of pace here, as Baptiste. But very well done. There's Leo Barra. And no advantage. Advantage over, says the referee. Now, Blancpain sees a bit of space on the right-hand side. Gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Has to go back. And the ball pops up to Muvaka right on the try line here. Argentina looking to apply a lot of pressure on them. And eventually they managed to seal it out. Dupont will be able to kick for a touch. Almost got himself in a lot of trouble there, did Anton Dupont. He will find touch. And it will be just outside the 22. So attacking set piece coming up here for Argentina. Really nice intensity here from Argentina. The kick through wasn't the worst idea, actually. Delgado almost at the pace on Leo Barra, who very, very calmly dove on the ball. And then Dupont trying to go down the right-hand side. He saw a bit of space, but that space closed very quickly. And he had to do a lot to make sure he wasn't caught out. We're going to have a look here. Potentially foul play, I think, is the call here. But Jean-Baptiste Gross is down. He's actually limping off from the looks of it. And the last possible thing that Fabien Galtier would have wanted is to put on an early substitution. So Reda Wadi's going to have to come on and... no, because Gross going to stay on. He's limping, but he looks like he's going to stay on. No, he's off. No, he's gone. So Reda Wadi's going to have to play a full 76 minutes here. Basically a full game. Which is the worst possible thing you want as a prop. Now, for example, Contaponi will be in the air saying, right, we've got to scrum here. We've got to try and make sure we can move Reda Wadi as much as possible. So let Joel Slavia really have a go at him. Try and grind him down so that when Francisco Gomez Gadella comes on in the second half, he's nice and tender and ready to be taken to the cleaners. Lucas Arton saying, come on, France. Right, still a bit of break and play here, so we're waiting to restart. I don't know if we're having a look at this clean out to see if there's a potential croc roll. Nah, I don't think it's really a croc roll in there. Julio Montoya's trying to get him up. He's trying to get that leg off. Is he going to get a yellow card? Well, he looks very confused there, Julio Montoya. Yeah, Montoya's not impressed because he reckons it's not a croc roll. I tell you, that's an interesting one. I mean, he doesn't... Eventually, I suppose he sort of takes his leg up, but it's not a traditional croc roll where he kind of like rolls onto it. I mean, he's not rolled onto it. Eventually, he's basically just picked the leg up as he's gone down. That's going to be a very interesting... he's off with the injury, so I mean, it's kind of, I suppose, why it's outlawed. But that's going to be a very interesting example in terms of what is classified as a croc roll and what's not. But regardless of that, Julio Montoya down once again. Argentina down to 10 men. I mean, to 14 men within the first 5 minutes. Absolute disaster for them. Julio Montoya now as well, the captain no less, off for the next 10. There is a bunker review. I'll be very surprised if that gets upgraded to a red, though, to be honest. Right, once is the call from the only more than 22-year from France. Anton Dupont looking to use it now. And he goes to Mifana and Ramos. Ball around to Vieira. Look at the pace. And picked up by... And it's a nice carry there coming from Gross. Well, big carry there coming from Antonio, but eventually they do very well stand up on him. Dupont picks it up short. There's a bit of space there. Charles Ulivon goes straight. Pop up and eventually goes to Reda. Wadi finds a bit of space. Joel Slavi makes the tackle. Ball available for Dupont. Slow ball goes to the right-hand side. Oh, no, that's horrible. It's been knocked forward, and they're going to have a scrum there. They're going to have to bring a hooker on, yes, for Argentina. So Ignacio Ruiz is going to have to come on. I mean, I'll tell you what, there must be nothing worse. I mean, Ignacio Ruiz, for example, I think must get about 10 minutes tops every game because Julio Montoya is just so good. At least he's nice and young because Julio Montoya spent his entire career having to bench for Agustin Currie, who for many, many years was Argentina's best performer. Nice little set move there from Argentina, though, with a bit of space. Good defense in the end from Argentina, and then a little bit of pressure. That's a big carry coming from... I'll tell you what, when they get Paul Willemse back, and it's going to be Paul Willemse, and, or it could be, to be fair, Willemse might not necessarily make the starting lineup these days, but if you go with Paul Willemse and Emmanuel Mierfu, then you've got two locks at 130 kgs plus, and that's quite a prospect. Here comes Ignacio Ruiz, and they're just deciding who to take off. I think there's a TMO review here as well. I'm not entirely sure what for. And looking at Joel Slavy. To be fair, I don't think there's much Joel Slavy can do. He goes nice and low, and then he's in... Nah, he can't do anything here. No, it's not a tip tackle. He goes up... No, I'm sorry. That is so... It's textbook. He goes up, and basically old Redawadi loses his footing, goes over him. So I don't exactly know what he's supposed to do in that situation. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm about to say, thank you very much. There was mitigation there. Yeah, you couldn't sit there and say that's there was no twist, for example. He went nice and low, textbook tackle, and Redawadi basically got through the tackle, so his feet were over here, and he's trying to complete the tackle, and he kind of goes over. So you can't look at that as a... Nah. Right decision, yeah. No, it's not a tip tackle. It's not a tip tackle. That's what he said. He said, listen, I had him over here. I didn't tip it, anything like that. Nah, I think that's fine. Right decision in the end from Luke Pierce. And Rodrigo Isgro has been sacrificed. So they're keeping on a full pack here of Argentina as Ignacio Ruiz comes on. And this will be really Wadi's first scrum. Opportunity now for Argentina to try and wear him down because he's going to have to be on for pretty much the full 80. So a long night ahead for him. Big scrum, and the penalty comes, but for France, not for Argentina. And then, how stupid is that? France win the scrum, and I think it's then been a push, and it's been turned around. Yeah, no, well done. I mean, that's, and I like that decision from Luke Pierce. So Argentina actually conceded the scrum penalty, and somebody stood up and pushed the Argentina man over, and so Luke Pierce says, well, we don't need to have that. Turns the penalty over. And a bit of a coach killer, really. And Argentina now will be able to exit. And I think that's a really good kick, actually, from Thomas Albanese. I think they found touch inside the French half. Love to see who the man was here. Who was the city man who could see a penalty, which was absolutely needless. No need for it whatsoever. They had won the penalty. And then somebody stood up and pushed on the Argentina players over. And so Luke Pierce said, thank you very much. We'll just turn the penalty over, shall we? Ball to the top. Good take that from Guido Petty. Looking for the rolling more here are Argentina. Whilst they do have Julio Montoya in the bin, it is a full pack. Opting to sacrifice the wing there. Once is the call. Needs to provide the ball to Gonzalo Garcia. He goes to the boot. And it's a good tackle from Delgado. Good take there from Vieira. Now the left-hand side. Redawadi at first receiver. He pops up to Thomas Ramo. Now lots of space out wide. Mirfana goes to Gael Fiku. Fiku decides to kick through. It's quite a heavy kick, but I think that's well positioned. Yeah, it will run into touch. I don't think it's 50-22. Where does he kick this ball? It's a really good take there from Vieira. Gets up nice and high. Good, and Delgado just managed to grab a boot, really. Where does Gael Fiku kick this, though? Is this 50-22? I don't think it actually originates necessarily. So he's inside his own half. The question is, does the play originate from the 22? Is this a French line-out? So it has been turned over. It is going to be a French line-out. Yeah, about to say, it is a 50-22. Very, very nice kick there from Gael Fiku. Such a classy operator. The Racing Metro outside centre. Now Mavaka. They go to the back of the line. Good take. And Dupont comes around the outside. Pops it up to Muafano. Almost gets through. 2 meters short here of France. Dupont looking for options. Goes to... And over they go. I think it's Paul Boudinet who goes over. Now, Thibaut Flamet, I want you cheapest. He tell you what, he scores tries for fun. And every single time you hear him, you hear about the fact that he used to be a fly half. Far too easy, though, for him to eventually go over. And France take first blood. And again, everything we mentioned about Argentina, you don't want to concede an early try. Don't want to give them a yellow card. Big short carry coming from Muafana. And then as they try and shift on the right angle, they're just one-on-one up against Matthias Moroni. And there's just only one person that's going to win that battle. Nice quick ball on the right angle. Yeah, and only one result, really. And it's right in front. And this is one of the best goal kickers in the business in the form of Thomas Ramos. So he'll make no mistake of this. And I'm sure Argentina will be very, very shortly 7-0 down with about 4 minutes left on that yellow card. Oh dear. Argentina. That's an interesting one, actually, the Crockwell. Good decent kick off that from Argentina, from France. They've proceeded well and got themselves up towards the 10-meter line. Now the kick comes from Ramos, and they go quite deep. And I think it's Jean-Cruz Malia underneath it. He will return the favour. Albanose is going to try and contest. Oh, he does very well, actually. He knocks it forward initially, and then he kicks it ahead. And Vieira's going to have to go all the way back. Gonzalez is all over him. Very nice work this from Argentina. A bit of pressure there from Gonzalo Garcia as well on the ball. Missed it, though. So ball is available for Dupont. 7 meters out from their own try line. Ramos goes to the cross kick on the bounce to Biabari. Steps outside of Oviedo, then runs back into him. Nice little almost exit from France now. They go to the butcher. Dupont looking for options. I think Antonio will be the one. He does go to Antonio. And now Dupont will go himself. Won't find touch, though. Now, Malia. Listed for Dalga to go and chase. And it pops out of him backwards is the call, I think. And it runs into the hands of Oviedo. Up into the 22 here, Argentina. Quick ball here from Garcia. Big hit there on Slavi, but he bounced off one. He's still going as Joel Slavi. Very nice work. Francois Coach wants to try and attempt the jackal, but gets removed quickly. Albanose goes short to Matera. Ball still available here for Argentina. Back down the left-hand side goes Garcia. Pops it up, and Albanose shows and goes himself. Nice carry from the fly half. This is really good. That's a really nice carry as well. They're just short. Their Nation Ruiz is 2-3 meters out. Gonzalo Garcia wants to go quick to Oviedo. Almost in between two. He's going to be held up against the line, is he? They want to try and recycle that ball here, do France. But Luke Pierce is going to say it's held up. In the end, or is it going to be a 5-meter scrub? Held up is the call. Playing for an advantage. They're going to go back for the penalty. I'm about to say, I was very confused because you're saying that it's... you were saying that it was held up, and then he pointed to Argentina. So penalty is the call on the 5-meter line. Decision time. Take the points, run the clock down. You take the points, for example. Montoya will be able to come onto the park. I think they'll take the 3 here. I'd imagine they'll take the 3 here. Get Montoya back on the park. Interesting to see what the reaction is to Montoya's yellow card. Yeah, they're going to take the 3 points. They get themselves within 4, get their captain back onto the park as well. It's the right decision. Yeah, good game management with this from Argentina. But very, very exciting attack that was. And if they can keep that kind of sort of momentum and those sort of phases, then they can definitely keep this French side honest. Right, no mistake there from Thomas Albanese. He gets the flags to a lift as Argentina officially get onto the park, but it goes back to this massive carry from Joel Slavy. Show and go there from Albanese is also very good. Nice strength as well, bouncing with Miafana. Right, back to full contingent as Julio Montoya returns to the park. So it is officially back to 15 on 15. Can hide that yellow card. And that's a good kick from France. They win it back, and Dupont gets away with a couple of defenders. Throws it to Barre. Almost finds a way through. And penalty for Argentina for hands beyond the ball. So Montoya's not having a good time yet. He's just come back from a yellow card. Now he's just been pinged for hands beyond the ball. In fact, I think it could actually be Gonzalez. Interesting decision here for France. I think they'll take the 3. They are going to take the 3. Basically just cancel out that Argentina penalty almost immediately. Once again, Argentina discipline proving to just not be good enough as they can see the penalty right shortly after kickoff. I mean, to be honest, it's not hard to see what Contemporary needs to fix. It's the discipline, it's the cards, it's a lot of the same from Argentina, to be perfectly honest. Whenever you look at their best big performances, when they go and beat New Zealand or South Africa and the likes, you usually go and see it's like that once in a year really good disciplined performance where they don't concede that many penalties, where they don't concede cards, and they're just really accurate. Unfortunately, their biggest issue is they can't do that consistently. Somebody who is very consistent is Thomas Ramos off the tee, and he splits the poles. And has 10 points to 3 as they pan to Gregory Aldred. Not in the squad tonight, Gregory Aldred. Very, very strange to see a French side without him in it. Right, to the right of the side go Argentina. Big hit coming on there, man. Looking for a counter-rack here, Argentina. Big counter-rack. France have to commit a couple of other players into the rack to secure it. And once again, Dupont will say, let's take the touch, and it finds touch just past the 10-meter line. So Argentina can reset here now. Need to try and respond with a try of their own, really. And they've got short here. And tell you what, it's a really good carry there from Guido Petty. Gets the offload as well. And Gonzalez as the Argentina once again go into the 22. Joel Slavy goes nice and low. Good tackle from Redawadi. Garcia, Albon with lots of options. Goes short to Matera. Brought down by Brune. Inside ball. Well read is Isgro. Not the best pass onto the bounce there to Lucio Cinti. A lot of pressure on Lucio Cinti. Just takes touch. Eventually be told to leave it is Mofada. Now Julio Montoya goes nice and direct. To the right-hand side, move Argentina. Albano's options. Pops it short to Guido Petty. Looked very upright that from Miafu. Needs to be careful with that. You go upright in the tackle and you often lose yourself to the bin. Show and go almost there from Thomas Albanese. Garcia looking to snipe, popping up. Nice hands as Isgo then eventually gets driven back by Muafana and Dupont. Garcia now shuts out the 22, goes to the left-hand side. Good hands here. Lots of space on the left-hand side. But he steps back inside. Does Thomas Gajol. Almost up to the 22. Lost a bit of momentum, but going through the phases here. Now they look to use the space. There's so many runners here. Malia goes to Matera. Matera pops it short. Is that forward? Cuts back inside. It's not forward. Pick up and go as John Cruz. Malia is driven backwards. Now here comes Rubiolo, the youngster. Oviedo on the last angle there. Good momentum, good retention this from Argentina. Gonzalez lined up and hit hard. Lucio Cinti now from standing start. Driven backwards now. Argentina just losing a bit of momentum. Big counter coming from France as well. But over off their feet is the call from Luke Pierce. Right in front of the call. Yeah, crawling is basically what he's called him out for. So penalty Argentina. Probably take the 3 points. Get themselves back within 4. Might be tempted to go for more. Max Moroni having a word with Luke Pierce saying that he wants to take it quickly. And Montoya was speaking to Luke Pierce about something. Not entirely sure what for. And I'm not entirely sure the decision is going to be from Argentina. I'd imagine they take the points. But I'll be tempted. I'll tell you what. If you're going to beat France, you need to score tries, to be honest. That's my thinking. Now taking the points. But I think you need to score tries to beat France. Just looking at some of the carries here. Very good awareness of space that Argentina have. And they create a lot of space out wide. So they can get their right sort of players. And they've got 2 speedy wings. They get them outside that wide. Then they can punish you. So it's promising signs from Argentina. That was about a 14-15 phase attack. Albanose makes no mistake. Says, thank you very much. He'll take a second penalty of the evening. 10 points to 6 after 20 minutes exactly. Officially through a quarter of the game. Right on the right-hand side. That almost looks like it's too much, actually. It is too much. It is too much. It's bounced out. Surely, hasn't it? I was about to say, Vieira thought he was over. The Argentinians were convinced it was too far. It is too far from Thomas Ramos, and they'll go back to the halfway for a scrum. So that's frustrating. So when you think of how good the French restart was last time, they won the ball back. Eventually won a penalty, cancelled out the penalty. This time, Thomas Ramos just flirting too much with the touchline. It was a brave lead from Argentina, as it actually bounced back inside, and it bounces on the line. On the line. And Vieira actually got away and actually dove over. So 10 centimeters to the left, that would have stayed inside and he would have been over for the try. So it's a very brave leave from the Argentinians, but it's a good leave. As they say in cricket, there's only 2 types of leaves, a good one and a bad one. That was a very good one. Now, scrum on the halfway. Last time we saw France win the penalty at the scrum time. It was then reversed because Paul Boudinot pushed over, I think it was Materia. But they do have Montoya back onto the park, so a bit of experience there at hooker. It's gone down. Once again, it's a penalty against Argentina for going down on Joel Slavi's side. So Redawali's come on. He's having a good time now so far against Slavi. On the halfway line. I wonder if Thomas Ramos will fancy himself yet. I'll tell you what, old Antonio doesn't look particularly happy after that scrum. Who'd want to be a prop? Hey, who'd want to be a prop? It's a picture of Antonio's head face in the grass. Now Ramos has to give us a good thump. The direction's good. Has he got the distance? You bet he's got the distance. A great kick. Once again, Argentina have forfeited that 3 points within 2 minutes of scoring it. And this is the thing. This is what I keep saying. I think they've got to be brave and they've got to go for the try. And they're back to 6 points behind, and they're getting a 3, they're conceding a 3. Getting a 3, then conceding a 3. You know, you've got to, for me, be a bit braver. If they're going to beat Argentina, I think they're going to have to go in for some of the tries. Now that's actually been really, really poor. That's a very poor judgment from France, because that was very clearly staying in. They got a miscommunication. Thankfully, nobody touched it, so it will be a France lineup, but it'll be inside the 22. And Pierre Barre just let it bounce, and yeah, really poor. Now he's looking up at, I think it was Paul Budden there. So a bit of a miscommunication there from the French, and they'll have a defensive line inside the 22. They go to the front. It's a good lineup though. And looking for the rolling more here are France. And Dupont now uses it and kicks it downfield. Won't find touch. Albanor is going to keep it nice and low. Thomas Ramos going to try and go for the characteristic stop with his foot. Now Leo Barre hammers that downfield. Now options there. Ramos is underneath this. Over and just completely overran it. That is go. To Balfremain, the try scorer taking into contact. Pablo Matera all over that ball. Surely that's a penalty. Luke Pierce, yeah, come on. You've got to be awarding that sooner, to be honest. Has to be. We were actually talking about this in our analysis show, about how dangerous it is when referees don't award the turnover sooner, because that's when crocodiles come in. Crocodiles come in generally when a player is well set, and then that's like the last resort. And Luke Pierce could have blown that so much sooner. Right, Pablo Mateo's going off for an HIA. Very strange. It almost seemed like a tactical substitution. But he's going to go down the park for an HIA here as Pablo Matera. They got to take the 3 points once again here, Argentina. Fortunately, you've seen the script before, haven't we? This is his third kick of the night. Both times that they took the 3 points, they conceded another penalty themselves within 2 to 3 minutes and forfeited those 3 points that they had gained. Well, he's got the kick. That's all, no issue there from Thomas Albanor. The question is, though, can Argentina receive the kickoff and play through a few phases and get through and get another penalty as opposed to just conceding another 3? So at the moment, they're dealing in 3s, and France are very easily cancelling the 3s that they're managing to get themselves. But Marcus Kramer on for Pablo Matera. What a player to be able to bring on. Absolutely brilliant. As Pablo Matera goes down the tunnel to get an HIA. Seems to be alright, so I'll be surprised if we don't see him again. Ramos this time will go a little bit more infield. I think it's Joel Slavia of all people underneath. No, it's not Oviedo. Gets away from one, eventually brought down by Antonio. Now Garcia goes to the boot. Delgado gives chase, and it's going to falls back to France eventually. I think backwards was the call there. A bit of a poor pass, and Muafana needs to try and find a bit of space, but he gets it out to Pierre Barre. Goes to Gael Figu, finds himself on the wing. Does very well here. Cameron needs to try and catch up a little bit. Terenawadi at first receiver, goes himself. Brought down by Julian Montoya. And that's backwards from the French, it's called, from the Argentinians. A turnover ball, kicked in behind. Well positioned is Thomas Ramos. Now he wants to go to the 50-22 there. And he has done it. He's done. That is so world class from Thomas Ramos. I mean, they've stolen the ball here. Have Argentina really well, kicked in behind, and Ramos has just picked it up, looked behind. There's nobody at home, and says thank you very much. Straight onto the ball there. Yeah, nobody home. So well positioned for Thomas Ramos. Just bounces inside the 22 and goes for that 50-22. It's absolutely brilliant from him. And it'll be a France line just inside the 22. Bit of a break and play here. Baptiste Galga getting some treatment, as does Unai Antonio, getting some strapping on his calf. We're almost 28 minutes into the game, so we're just over 12 minutes left in the first half. Not much separating the two sides. I thought he was limping as Tony. I don't think he's going to be on for very long here. Redawadi's already had to come on very early, and I think we might see Cologne on within the first half here. Promising young player is George Henry Cologne, but I don't think he's, for me, quite good enough. And Argentina, so there goes the Bautista Del guy, by the way. And Mateo Carreras comes on. Very, very nice player, Mateo Carreras. Not the biggest by any means, but a lot of fight in him. And deceptively strong for a man of his size. Stands at 1.72, 86 kgs, but yeah, packs punch. Very, very well contested, though, from Argentina. They win the ball back, and Thomas Albanese kicks it downfield. There's nobody home. That's going to sit up, though, for Gabian, so it's Biabare. And he will kick and chase his own kick. Albanese. Keeping it nice and low. Onto the bounce to Barra. Steps inside one. And straight through goes Barra. Eventually brought down by Gonzalo Garcia. But inside the Argentina territory. Quick ball here from Dupont. Goes to Redawadi. Goes to Thomas Ramos. Mufana now. Got Fiku outside him. Brought down by Matthews Moroni. Nice tackle from him. France back on the front foot as Dupont goes to the left-hand side to Redawadi this time. Back to the left-hand side. Budenay with a half gap. Quick ball from Dupont, looking for options. Ramos kept away from one. Not much space in behind Miguel. Fiku sits down one, eventually gets brought down. Good momentum this year from France. Dupont, penalty advantage. For offside is the call from Luke Pearce. And again, they're going to kick the 3 points. This is what I'm saying. This is the third time they've taken the points of Argentina and then they've conceded 3 within 3 to 4 minutes. It's periodic now. You can't take the 3 if you're going to concede 3 every 5 minutes. It just doesn't work. You're never going to be able to get ahead of the game. Wow, they're not taking the 3 off France. They're all in for the 7 here. Yeah, but bang, just gets away from, steps inside Jean-Cruz Malia, then finds a lot of space ahead of him. Back inside the 22. Will Argentina compete to the line? They won it last time. They do compete, and it's gone backwards. Now it's gone down, and Luke Pearce's decision is a knock-on. So Argentina are doing really, really well there. They competed in the first one, and they won in this one. They've competed in the air, and they forced the knock-on. So Argentina are reading the French line really well. Charles Olivan this time going up, but being disrupted in the air. I think France will probably be complaining it was played in the air. I think it's actually a French ball. I think it will be knocked on initially from Argentina. So it will be a French scrum, which doesn't bode well for Argentina, who've already conceded 2 scrum penalties. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. 4 penalties conceded apiece. 3 of those on each side, kickable, and taken. France have only turned down 1 kickable penalty. And they use it, so they do well not to see a penalty. Charles Olivan off the back, though. Marcus Kremer wants to get over that ball, misses it. Should pick up and go from Antoine Dupont. Ball available. Pick up and go now from Charles Olivan. Now Movaka. Pick up and go once again. Good defensive from Argentina, but France edge putting, but the ball comes out, and have they turned this over? No, they haven't, but they have Mostimito or 2 here, France. To the right-hand side. Redawadi now. France, 6 meters off from the touchline, on the try line. Down the right-hand side. Argentina need to remain patient on defense. Good tackle there on Mufana. Pick up and go, though. Almost catches them unaware. Pick up and go now. Francois Kroos. Thomas Ramos goes short to Ibarra, ball over the top to Ibarra, no, and he's over. And he's over. That Argentinian defense just cut to pieces, really, with the pace of play there. At one stage, they were really holding it together. But as soon as they went wide and they managed to free those hands there, Thomas Ramos, and it forced Vieira, who was over earlier, but disallowed. And now Gabin Vieira's got his try for the night. And now this league could go up to as much as 11 points. Just good patience here from France. Went through the phases, went right, went left, went right, went left. Sucked in all the Argentinian defenders and then bang. A couple of really good carries as well to keep your ball available. I mean, that carry from Barra, the ball over the top. But Gonzalo Garcia gets handed off probably too easily, to be honest. That's really where the try was created. Now Thomas Ramos to make this a 11-point game. And he makes no mistake. Right, France 20, Argentina 9. This is what I keep saying. Argentina are not going to win this in penalties. They're not. They've got to be braver. They have to be braver. They came up short last week, you know, and there's no guarantee that they would have won had they tried to go for the try. But I just feel that right now, you look at the two teams, you look at their discipline record. If they're going to win a game, they've got to score tries. You know, they've got to. They can't be trying to catch up 3 points at a time. Slow ball from Dupont from the kickoff. Goes Charles Olivan. Now off his left boot goes Dupont, and it's not the best kick. It won't find touch, actually. And ball back inside to Jean-Cruz Maria. But Dupont's up quickly to make the tackle. So Argentina back on the front foot here. Rita Petty steps back inside. On the 10-meter line. Back to Albanors. Goes short to Marcus Kremer. Came on earlier for... and it's a good turnover this time, though, for Mirfu. He came on earlier for Pablo Materas. Turnover ball here for France. And Gael Figue's not got too many options. He's going to go himself. Good tackle coming from Montoya. But he makes the ball available for Dupont. A little chip over the top. A couple of Argentine players were reading it, but it bounces directly towards Thomas Ramos. He kicks to the left-hand side. Ibarra's got so much pace. Surely he's going to win the race. Oh, that's brilliant work from Gonzalez. It could be knocked forward. I'm not entirely sure. Ibarra is saying it's a deliberate knock. Decision time here from the referee. Luke Pierce just saying everybody needs to calm down. This might be a deliberate knock from Gonzalez. He does so well to get there, to be fair. We could have a penalty try here, to be honest. He's changed to Andrea Piardi, the assistant referee. So we could have a penalty try here. The bounce of the rugby ball completely doing Argentina there. Ibarra reckons this is a try. He's basically celebrating this. He reckons this is a try. I just want to hear what the referee has to say, yeah? I think it's a penalty try, yeah. Is he a yellow card? Yeah. I think what he wants to do originally, I think he wants to try and basically tap it over Ibarra to then regather, but then runs into him, which completely takes out the chance of regathering. So it looks like it'll be a penalty try and a yellow card to Gonzalez. Yeah, penalty try and yellow card. And there it goes. That's Argentina gone. You know, it's that simple. It's discipline. It is discipline. It's Argentina side can beat any side in the world if they were to sort out their discipline. But the game's gone now. 27 points to 9. You're not coming back from it. See, silly, soft moments from Argentina just completely take them out of games. Marcus Currie, by the way, also going off. So it looks like Pablo Mateo is back on the park. He's past his HIA. And Argentina will have to score next to even have a sniff of getting to the game. But right now, they currently trail by 18 points. And they're not going to come back from that. Right, 4 minutes left. The best thing Argentina can do now is try and grab a try before half time. Get João Martin Gonzalez back on the park after half time. And try and hunt this deficit down. But 18 points, you got to score a try. That's still 11 points. And again, this is the problem. You know, all 9 points they've got was very quickly cancelled out by Argentina. By France. And then you knock it forward like that from Oviedo. And this is the problem. You know, so it's actually Matera. He's been off for a while. And then a penalty for playing. He's knocked it on forward there. He's knocked it forward, Mr. Pierce. No ways. Now, go back and look at that. Anton Dupont's taken this quickly. And I'm telling you right now, he's knocked it on. Just because it's a Dupont doesn't mean it's not a knock-on. I want to see this taken quickly from Anton Dupont. Because it looked like for sure it was a knock-on. Messi line like that from Argentina. Eventually goes back to Thomas Albanor, so he'll clear his lines. Won't find touch down the throat of try scorer Gabin Vieira. Almost both wings having scored tries already. Leo Barrio now, he's been full of running so far tonight. Goes past Timmy line, pick up and go. Down the left-hand side goes Paul Bunele. Redawali now acts to scrum off, goes short to Charles Olivan. In the number 8 jersey tonight, no Gregory Aldred. Antonio now carrying well. France up to the 22. Miafu gets himself nice and low. Gets a few yards. So difficult to stop a man of his size. Down the right-hand side goes Dupont. Far out wide goes Leo Barrio to Gael Fiku finds himself on the wing. Into the 22. But that's a really good turnover from Matias Carreras. And a bit of space. Can't quite get away. Can Thomas Albanors? If he had, life could have been interesting there. Good turnover ball that from Argentina. Pablo Matera now. Just outside the 22. Gonzalo Garcia back to his feet. Thomas Albanor is retreating back, so he'll go to the boot here, will Gonzalo Garcia. Does go to the boot, puts it quite deep, won't be contestable. Leo Berra underneath it. And this time runs to a couple of forwards. Doesn't get quite the same success. He does try and run around a couple of them. Short now, Thibaut Flamand. He scored an early try for France. Now Charles Olivan. Pablo Matera almost on it, but then told to leave it. Pierre Barrow with a space. And penalty. I think it's for an off-the-ball tackle on Anton Dupont. Late tackle on the call was silly. Very, very silly. And that's a gift of a 3 points. And you get the 3 points here. 21-point game. Yeah, here comes the Renault E-Pace full hybrid with the kicking tee. And that'll be it. Yeah, here comes the Renault, even though the Water Boy is coming on with the tee. Dear, it's Argentina side. So as the clock's going to go red, Thomas Ramos is going to add 3 extras and Argentina will go into the break with the game effectively over. The ranks do go up and France goes up to 30 points to Argentina's 9. We'll go into the break at half time and very, very frustrating and a long way back now for Argentina to try and get something out of this game. We'll see you guys very shortly. Don't go away. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you in a bit. Right, we are back for the second half, and almost a horrendous start for Argentina with the other wing that started. Rodrigo is going down with an injury, but he is back up. Matteo Currie is already on the park in place of Batista Delgado, so it could have been really stressed. Now, a reminder that Argentina currently down to 14 men. Jean-Martin Gonzalez getting a yellow card after conceding a penalty try. Argentina leading the game by 21 points. And very, very, very unlikely for Argentina to come back. Philip, in half-time, saying, I'd like you sure. Were you completely right off Los Pumas? Yes, DVP. Remember the deficit they closed versus the Box in their first encounter in the Rugby Championship a few months back. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's a chance. There's a chance. But I think the reality is the way that Argentina are playing at the moment. Well, we need to see more of this now. Scrum penalty and going for touch. That's what I think we need to see in the first half. I think the biggest problem at the moment is that they're just creating. It reads like the traditional Argentinian ill-disciplined performance, and unfortunately, from that, for example, we've seen that far too many times. And Tito's saying Argentina will not win. It is very irregular. Nuri's saying Vamos Argentina, Carajo, and JP saying come on Los Pumas. Yeah, so need to score. Yeah, really need to score a couple of back-to-back tries. To be honest, if they're going to get back into this game. So an early try whilst they're down to 14 minutes. A nice start. They go to the front of the lines. Very nicely taken. Got a very good line though. Do Argentina. They competed well against France as well. And look, not a bad looking running more either. But getting momentum as Julian Montoya controls things at the back. Well set. Comes around to the side. Still the same more. There's the call. Now he turns away. Now away says Luke Pierce. So does need to roll here. Does Vier. Pick up and go here from Thomas Gajo. Slightly isolated. Ball available for Joslawi. Around the corner he goes. Early try. Make things interesting here, Argentina. Make things interesting. Oh, and they make things very interesting by throwing it straight into the hands of the French after knocking it on. I mean, really, really. No, and they look to go find touch. Do find touch to France. So Argentina will once again start from outside 22. Again, it's a very good line. It's a very good set piece. Need to be a bit more patient, I think, is probably the order of the day there. And just straight through the hand. It wasn't really meant for him, to be honest. Frustrating. Right. A couple of players getting ready to come back on. Jean-Martin Gonzalez should be on relatively shortly in the next minute and a bit. Matteo Carreras down with the blood nose. Dropping like flies at the moment of the Argentinians. Right, and then after time we asked, can Argentina come back in the second half? 50% saying yes, 50% saying no. I'm impressed there's 50% saying yes, to be honest. I don't back it, I must admit. I love Argentina. I think they're a very good side. I think they're very talented, but I think tonight it just hasn't felt like their night. And I think that opportunity to score a try is probably a big one. A big one gone missing. So conversations here. They score. Look, I mean, they score the next couple of minutes. They need to score again though, and even after that, they are still. Even after two converted tries, they are still a converted try from just going level. You know, they're 21 points behind. It's a long way behind. If they hadn't conceded that for that try right before halftime, even a penalty to be honest, then maybe. But I felt that penalty try was a massive moment in the game. Anyway, one thing we know about Argentina is they're not going to die wondering. And they go to the back, and it's Marcus Kramer. It's been stolen by France. Just as I was talking about how good the Argentina lineup was. But a very, very good read that was from, I think, Thibaut Flamand. And turnover ball here for France. Antoine Dupont will go to the boot. And he'll keep that in play. On the bounce there. And ball up to Jean Cruz May with a bit of space. Inside ball to Matteo Carreras. Was getting a bit of treatment for that blood nose. Now on the right-hand side. Tom Albanese just delaying his pass to Marcus to Parliamentera. Now gets away to Guido Petty, but forward is call. Can't come back when you're making errors like that. That is the big thing. As I said, it's been ill-disciplined and sloppy from Argentina tonight. Just haven't been the Argentina we've seen throughout the year. Right, scrum there. Decent scrum there. Big second shot came from Argentina, but they do manage to use it. And France goes short to Mofana. Now to Thomas Ramos. Now to Leo Barra. What a game he's had. And out towards Gavin Vieira. Comes back inside, looking to try and get the offload away. Leaves ball behind as they pick up and go down the short side. Now Dupont pops it up to Francois Cross, as does Mirafu. And a bit of space for Tabal for men. The try scorer to go through into 22. Quick ball here. Reda Wari does well to hold on to it. Dupont, quick ball now. Ramos looking for options, goes to go himself, wants to free his hands. And Dupont loses it forward. And then Argentina loses it forward. So surely go back for the scrum for Argentina. Good work from Argentina to disrupt them and to force the knock on. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice attack actually from France there. Nice good offload, quick ball from Dupont, and then just managed to get his hand sorted as Montoya completes the tackle, knock on there, and then I think it's Matis Moroni knocks it on for Argentina. So we'll go back and here comes Joel Slavi limping off. So Francisco Gomez de Godella will come onto the park, and Redawadi, well, he's gonna have to go the distance, isn't he? Came on in the 5th minute. Did Redawadi. Actually, I like him on in the 3rd minute. Right, let's see what Francisco Gomez Cadella can do. Really need a couple of penalties to Argentina, try and progress their way up the park. Got to score quickly. But they are back to a full contingent at least, which is good news. So Jean-Martin Gonzalez is back onto the park. Right, Gonzalo Garcia goes to Albanos. He goes deep with the boots, and Fetcher goes Liabera. Now he looks to run most of the time, and he will look to run again once again. And Lucio Cinti makes a good tackle, but he gets the offload away to Mufana. Now Mirfu to Thomas Ramos. Bit of space out wide, and Biabarra's got plenty of pace. Juan Martin Gonzalez trying to keep up with him. Mimavaka down the side, and he managed to throw the ball back inside. Ball falls to Gael Fiku, almost fumbles it. Good tackle coming from Rubiolo. Quickly taken though from Dupont. Goes to Mirfu. Will probably just go himself. Will the giant lock? Does. Pops it up to Dupont. Now looking for options. And Francois Croce makes a good couple of yards. Quick ball for... inside ball from Dupont. Very nicely worked from him. But well read from Argentina defense. Now Dupont back down the right hand side. Redawadi. Caught on the ball. Argentina reset. Mirfu. Nice carry from him. Once again down the right hand side. Charles Olivan with a bit of a run up. Making a yard or two. Good retention this. Going into the 8th phase here at France. Phase number 9 now. Pick up and go on Charles Olivan. Now Dupont. Goes to Redawadi. Good ball retention this from France. Good momentum being built. Ramos, now there's so much space out wide. Mufana drifting. And comes across to Thomas Albanos. And almost gets away as Gael Fiku. Makes a very good tackle in the end. Does Thomas Albanos. Ball back aside from Andrew Dupont to Antonio. A delayed ball. Argentina had managed to reset their defense. Mirfu now pops it short to Murvaka. Making good progress here as France. 13 phases they've gone through. Flamand now. Scored 1 try already. And once again, DuPont's been caught on the ball. It's the second time that's been caught, actually, as DuPont. And Gonzalo Garcia has obviously done a lot of research on the fact that DuPont likes to take a couple of steps, because he's done that twice now. But a space here for Argentina to almost burst through. And they have got a lot of numbers. Gonzalez, pick up and go down the left-hand side. Good work that from, I think it's Thomas Albanose. Oviedo gets away from 1. Gets the offload away as well. 2. Petty throws it back inside. Very nice support play there from Thomas Albanose as well. Shirley from the side, Mr. Ref. No, Shirley, you can't them stand up and give a go. Gino Montoya. Half an hour left in the game, and Argentina have got their tails up here. Juan Cruz Malier didn't need to make that pass, to be honest. Gael Fiki was standing right next to Mattis Moroni. And he actually wasn't really in the game until he passed it to Mattis Moroni. Now Pablo Matera trying to go nice and direct. Quick ball here from Gonzalo Garcia. He sees a bit of space on the right-hand side. Bit of a mismatch there. Antonio. Nice quick hands there by Mateo Carreras. Oh my goodness, that is terrible. Rodrigo Isgra has knocked it on 4. That's absolutely disastrous from him. Terrible, terrible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that's the thing. Philip's saying, yeah, okay, now it's over. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Every single time they've looked like they're almost building, almost going all the way, they then make a mistake. And here comes the bench for France. And I spoke about him, the fact somebody like Julian Marchand coming off the bench is a big boost. Looks like, I think, Alexandre Rumat will come on as well as George Henry Kalub. And change as well for Argentina in the second row. Guido Petty comes off, and I still see Franco Molina on now. So I'm just tweeting one of the observations somebody say. So we see that Gonzalo Garcia has done it twice, where as sort of DuPont drifts to the left, looking for or to the right, looking for options. Garcia goes very quickly onto that ball and has managed to rip it from his hands twice. Big scrum here, a couple of new faces. And a penalty for Argentina. They have all of a sudden this half had the more dominance. And I spoke about it earlier. I really don't think that George Henry Kalum is a phenomenal scrummager. He got nailed last week. He's just been nailed now, and Argentina wasted no time in kicking it to touch to try and find their first points of the half. The first points of the half, actually, but no points so far in the second half. So it's been a very interesting half in that respect. We had almost 40 in the first half. Less than half an hour to go. The Argentina are going to have to go bang, bang, I think, if they are to try and get their tails up to try and really mount a bit of a comeback. They're still 21 points behind. 3 converted tries. And Matias Carreras is going to have to change his shirt here because he's got blood all over it. Right, and we are finally good to go as Argentina plot their line out. A couple of new faces in that pack now for Argentina. Franco Molina on, as is Francisco Gomez de Adela. They go to Matera. Nice early hit so far. Well set here from Argentina. Montoya now joins it, trying to get that ball back, but they've got the run over here to Argentina. Need to try and keep the structure of it. Still going to Argentina, still going. They're just short. In fact, they're over. Surely they're going to have to award this. Thomas Gajo is celebrating. Luke Pierce is desperately trying to find the ball. Hold up is the call. Surely you want to have a look at this. Thomas Gajo can't believe it. Well, no complaint there from Julian Montoya, so he obviously thinks it's held up. Gajo can't believe it. He was celebrating. I'm surprised he didn't go have a look there at Luke Pierce. I think it could have been worth having a look, you know. I mean, he had to go and like search and like lifting limbs basically to try and find the ball. And then eventually it's held up. What's to say there wasn't grounding before he found the ball? And Ramos taking no time, gives it straight to Israel. Ball around the side for Gonzalo Garcia. Tell you what, we've seen that in South Africa. And boys, but they're behind. Oh my goodness, that should have been a try. Forward from Argentina. We've seen Gonzalo Garcia go down that blind side. He absolutely dusted Vili Leroux a couple of years ago in a similar position. So quick and such good footwork as well from the flanker. Knock on advantage here as Dupont will clear. That could have been epic from Argentina. And he will find touch. And Garcia's going to have to once again... No, he won't find touch actually. Now Argentina looking to drift inside. That's a horrible, horrible pass. Going to kill all the momentum as Mateo Carreras has to go and clean up. But he gets away from Gael Fiku. Matias Carreras. Look at the pace from him. Options there, options. Runs into one. Eventually brought down inside the 22. Really good work. I told you, he packs a punch for a smaller guy. Now a bit of options there. Delays the pass to Oviedo. Argentina got their wits about him. Surely it's penalty. Is a penalty. Off the field, a breakdown from Charles Olivan. And I tell you what, I think Argentina will be asking about a potential card there, given the momentum that they had. I don't think Luke Pierce is going to play ball to that, though. To the corner, they will go once again. Maris Correa so strong on the tackle there, just gets away from Gael Fiku. And he had Santiago Carreras next to him, just couldn't quite keep up. It's a great hit though. He's just so small and compact as Mateo Carreras. Sort of Chiz and Colby bars, really. It's a good tackle in the end from Dupont, but did really well to Mateo Carreras. But once again, all these opportunities from Argentina and no tries to speak from it. Got to score here. Have to score here. Front of the lineouts. And they changed the direction. And they're just short. Ball's gone down. Ball's available. Gajo pick up and go. And scores. And scores. Well, Argentina finally managed to get their try. They've been trying desperately all half. It's been all Argentina this half, to be honest. France basically haven't been in the game. And that'll make it a 16-point game with a kick to come. But the ball from the line tossed back down for a change and more. And then so much strength there from Gajo. And Pablo Matera adds the extras. But, I mean, that's about 3 French defenders there. And Gajo gets so low. And with the support from Pablo Matera, has the strength to force himself over. Yeah, very good work there from the loose head. He was convinced they were over earlier. It wasn't to be. This time they are over. 24 minutes and I think it's going to slide wide. No, it's good. Thomas Albanose kicked beautifully tonight and that's another 2 points. So 14 points back Argentina with 24 minutes to go. Their score next becomes game on, but they're still a while back. And Gonzalo Garcia will make way for the Tawa Bazenvales. What a game he had. Caught out to Anton Dupont twice on the ball. Charge down from Argentina, though. But back into Argentina's hands. They've done very well there. Who are going to go to the boot now is Bazenvales. And he's been charged down once again. And knocked forward. You cannot make the same mistake again. Argentina, France will turn over ball. Dubon's caught in it, but there's space over here. Long pass out to the hands of Thomas Ramos. He goes to Biabare. Look at the pace of Biabare, and he goes over. And that's how you throw any sort of comeback away. You cannot get charged down twice in a row. Absolutely cannot. Cannot. So poor here for Argentina to be charged out twice like that, and then Biabare, there's nobody but home. He's got the pace. He's one of the fastest wings in the world, and chips it through, regathers, over he goes. It's far too easy, and any hopes that Argentina had for a comeback. And this is the problem: they've conceded points every single time they've scored points. They've conceded. In fact, I'd actually love to look at that. The trend over there of conceding every single time that they score has been mental. Here we go. Albanor's penalty in the 14th minute, Ramos in the 15th. Albanor's in the 19th minute, Ramos in the 22nd. Albanor's in the 25th. That was the longest time. Then 7 minutes later, try Vier. But then once again, Gajo in the 55th, Albanor's 56th, Biabare replies in the 57th. You know, you can't concede within 2 to 3 minutes every single time you score points. I think they've actually won the ball back from the kickoff there, actually, have Argentina. No, France have eventually got it back. It was a nice contest, though. And that's out in the full, I think. No, they kept it in, actually, have Argentina. So, ball available for Bazenvales. Inside ball. Nice angle being run there. I think that's by Pablo Matera. But they've ripped the ball in the tackle here, France. And now Ramos will go to the boot with nobody back. All the way back goes Santiago Carreras. Here goes Thomas Albanos. Albanos sees a bit of space. Almost through. Quick ball on the right-hand side. Carreras at first receiver. He's played a lot of fly half for Archie over the years. Now back inside, Montoya runs into his opposite hooker, Julien Marchand, the replacement. That's also late tackle, Mr. F. If you're going to be nice and consistent, you should be looking at that one. I think it was Thomas Ramos that came through to make it. Marcus Kramer making a few yards. Very nice work from him. And now knock on here from France. But if I'm Julien Montoya, I'm going to ask you, what about the late tackle? You know, we were penalised for a late tackle in the first half. Why are they not being penalised for a late tackle? I'd love to go look at that tackle and see why that's not been called a penalty. Maybe not as late as the Argentina one, but still very clearly late in my opinion. Right, ball available. Bazenvales goes to Albanos, looking to wrap around. Lucio Cinti is held up. Just managed to work himself down to the ground. Bazenvales goes once again to Albanos, looking for options. Albanos goes himself. Back to the left-hand side. Yeah, Marcus Kramer at first receiver. He fires out to Santiago Carreras. Slow ball now for Bazenvales. Cruz Malia. Oh, I'll tell you what, it was a great delayed pass, but knocked forward. And is there a counter-attack on here potentially from France? Thomas Ramos gets hammered by Marcus Kramer, and they'll go back for the knock-on. You probably won't appreciate that, will Thomas Ramos. But it was so well timed for Marcus Kramer. He saw the opportunity and he wasn't going to miss it. I don't understand why he's not waiting for it. Not the first time I'm sure Thomas Ramos has been hit by Marcus Kramer. Won't be the last. Right, here comes Ignacio Ruiz, so that'll be the end of Julio Montoya's game. And Diabara is going to come off as well for Nolan Nagaric. And I imagine that Nagaric will go into 10 and Thomas Ramos will go to 15. Will be my guess. And such a slow performer is Julio Montoya. I think 100 games so far. So Augustin Creevy. Montoya will not be far behind. He'll get to that 100, I'm sure. I think he'll end up as the most capped Argentinian player ever. He's 31 years old. He's got 95 caps to his name. So he'll get to 100 next year. And Augustin Creevy finished officially with, I think, 100 on the dot. 110. I lied. 110. 100 was this year? Was it last year? Could have been last year. What was this year, actually? And knock on there from France with Argentina scrum. So, yeah, I mean, he needs 15. Does Montoya to become the all-time appearance maker for Argentina. And he probably won't get there next year. He'll get there the year after. He'll definitely finish as the most capped Argentinian player ever. And I mean, imagine having that. Your most capped player ever, as well as your second most capped player ever, were your two hookers for years and years. I mean, Augustin Creevy is 39 years old, made his debut in 2005. Montoya made his debut for Argentina in 2014. So for the last 10 years, you've had those two as your options. Absolutely mental hooker depth. And we have a reset chess. So just over 15 minutes left in the game. Still so many points ahead of France, 21 to be exact. Donald Ross saying, come on, France. And D. Hake saying, allez le bleu. Well, good time to be... Oh, that's a massive Argentinian scrum. That's huge. Surely. Yeah, there comes the penalty. So good. And once again, it's Kalum. I just don't think it's good enough. I really don't. Got hammered last week by Tamati Williams, and he's been hammered tonight. That's a great kick. Phenomenal kick, that, from Thomas Albanese. They're on the 5-meter line. This is trying at 7.7 meters. And once again, he's popped straight up. He just can't handle the pressure. Ignacio Ruiz will feed, but it's just too much, isn't it, for Argentina? 21 points, 15 minutes. Unless you literally go bang, bang, and you need one try in the last 10 to try and level it up. I just don't see how it really happens. Good take, though, that from Franco Molina. It's gone down the right-hand side. Someone's fighting with the ball. I think it's Gajol. He's done very well to manage to not go out, to be fair to him. Ball available for Marcus Kramer. Pick it up and go. He came on for Pablo Matera earlier. Another pick up and go here. Five meters out. Big drive coming. Or just short. Big effort there. 2 meters out. Well, not even a meter out, really. Surely one more phase. One more good carry. Then they should score here. Gonzalez has a go. Penalty advantage for offside. Pick up and go. Still advantage. And then apparently a knock-on is the call. And I think they're going to have a chat with Andrea Priardi here. Could potentially see if this is I don't know if this is potentially cynical play, and they might be looking at a yellow card here. No try, but there is a penalty. I'll tell you what. After that last scrum, I would seriously think about a scrum. I think that Thomas Gajo has Cologne on a knife edge here. Pick up and go there from Gajo. Yeah, he does knock it on. Quite clearly knock on, but they'll go back for the penalty. Yeah, they have called for the scrum. They have called for the scrum. Dahai says, you do lives like this often every week. Every week. We'll be live all throughout the weekend. It won't always be me. I do all the main games. So this game tomorrow, the block game. But we'll have other presenters. But yeah, every week we're live for Watchalongs. Can't even tell you how many we've done. I mean, we've done every block game for 4 years. So that's already close on 50 matches. And that's just box. Then there's URC and the like, so hundreds. That's another massive scrum as it stood up here. But Kaluma's once again under a lot of pressure. If I'm Gajo, I'm in his face right now saying, mate, you don't know what's going on here. And I mean, it's pretty impressive when you think Thomas Gajo's played 65 minutes here. And Kalum came on in the 51st minute. So he's only played 60 minutes and he's being pulverized here by Gajo. Right, come on, lads. Love to see a scrum penalty. I just want to see good, nice, close games. Love to see Argentina scoring a bit of a frenzy in the last 11. So I get saying thank you, getting a new subscriber. I'm not trying to miss it. Commentary is really good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll see you over the weekend. And once again, I've gone down there of Argentina. Ball's available this time. No penalty advantage. And front foot ball there for Lucio Cinti. Pops up to Albanors, but really good read. Offside, I think, is the call here from Luke Pierce. And is the call. He does confirm it is offside. So penalty advantage here for Argentina. And Marcus Kramer gets up and goes himself. What a stalwart he's been for Argentina for so many years. And he's still quite young, actually. I think he's like 28. Pick up and go! Just short from Thomas Gajo. Once again. Options here. Pick up and go. Pop it up and go. They do pick up and go. They're just... No, they're over. They are over. Argentina do score. I've actually got a bet on this game. I've actually forgotten what it was. I think it was a handicap for Argentina, which I think they're fine with, actually. I think they needed to come within 20 points odd, so that could actually be quite an important try for my bet. Right, pops over to Thomas Albanors. 37 points to 21. 23 points to 37. And back to 14-point margin. And Argentina, you kind of need them to like score basically from the kickoff. You know, kick off, couple of phases, find a bit of space, go over, and then all of a sudden you got like a really cool last 10 minutes. But again, the biggest problem that Argentina have had throughout this match is conceding points just after scoring the points. And we're going to talk about that quite a lot when I think I do the review, because it's just been a worrying trend. Right, now Thomas Gajo, what a match it was from him. He goes off and makes room for Ignacio Calles, who is the last member of the Argentinian bench. For France, however, it is still got Emilien Gailleton on the bench. I'll tell you what, there's almost the heartbreak we're talking about from Bazan Vales. Out on the right-hand side. Bit of space here. Santiago Carreras makes a break. Santiago Carreras does make a break. Looking for options. Does get the offload away. Big tackle coming on Buzz and Fires, but they're up towards the halfway line now, Argentina. Quick ball on the left-hand side. They've got space on the right. Santiago Carreras, he made the initial break. He steps inside Cologne, but brought down by... Oh, almost a bit of a lock on there. Matches Carreras now. Bundles over 1 or 2. Where's this Argentina side been? Left it slightly behind. Pick up on the go. There goes Buzz and Valles. Right up against the touchline. Foot in touch, unfortunately. I mean, this second half has been all Argentina. The only points that France scored was that try, which was on turnover ball. But I tell you what, if this Argentinian side, and this is the frustrating thing, isn't it? If this Argentinian side had pitched up from the get-go, this could have been a really, really tight game. But they switched off for a 10-minute period, far too many penalties conceded, 2 yellow cards, and then you're chasing a 21-point gap. But this over here in the last few minutes is the Argentina side that we can really get behind because it's really special. And when they play like this, it's hard not to want them to do well. And Gael Ficou makes way, so that's the entire French bench as Emilion Guilleton comes on. And the Garrick goes to DuPont. He's just sitting at fly half now. And Gazzotti in the midfield works hard. Rare opportunity for Argentina to attack. And it's a solid carry. They're coming this time from Gilliard. Well, inside ball there for Cologne. And here he goes on a bit of a run. Pick up and go. Easy for the Garrick. Redouard, he's had to put in a big shift tonight. Came on in just the 3rd minute. Marchand, that's a nice tackle on him from Marcus Kramer. From on. Now the right hand side. DuPont decides to change the sides. Let's go to the left hand side. And they can't hold on to it to France. So turn a ball here for Argentina. Now a bit of space over here. Up towards the halfway line. Back down the right-hand side. Hands. Carreras now goes to Jean-Cruz Malia. Oh, not the best pass there. Albanos has to go back and clean up. And he's under a lot of pressure from Pierre Barre. There are some players back, though, to help him. Now a bit of space on the right side. Carreras got a bit of space. Matias Carreras now caught on the ball. Very good tackle there from Charles Olivan. Very good read. And told to leave it. Doesn't. And there's a penalty for Argentina. It's actually against Charles Olivan for not releasing. He made a very good read, to be fair to Charles. But didn't relieve was the call, so they'll be able to go further down the park. And as I said, where is this Argentinian side been? And High Cage saying, the last game we had against Sweden was tight as hell. What a game that was. Nice little inside ball there. Oh, McGarry got smashed in doing so by Franco Molina. To the offload, going back to... I think it was Gazzotti who knocked it forward. And Charles would have been guilty of not releasing. Up towards the 10 to 22 here. Ignacio Ruiz with ball in hand. Ball towards the back. It's a nice take from Gonzalo. Back to Buzz and Valles. Chip over the top from Albanos. I'll tell you what, a bit of traffic to try and get through. And he can't get through. Can Rodrigo Isgro. And unfortunately, they're all the way back inside their own half here, Argentina. And they'll return the kick of their own as Thomas Ramos receives just outside the 22. Thought about running it, then decides to go to the boot. Now they looked around, I'm sure, yeah, with Argentina with a space. Mateo Carreras. She's so strong in the tackle. Just shoving off Mufana. Ball available fair for Bazan Valles. Just short of the 20 of the halfway line on Argentina. To the right-hand side, Albanos looking for options. Carreras. Well read. And a big hit coming there. I think it's Jean-Cruz Malia trying to hold him up, but they managed to get him down to the ground. To the left-hand side. They've got numbers here, actually. Gonzalez presents. France's defense has shifted. Oviedo probably needs to go himself. Gets the offload away as well. While held by Ignacio Ruiz. Albanose looking for a little bit of a snipe. The door closed by Julio Marchand. But up to the 10-meter line, yeah, good progress here from Argentina. Score a try now, and the draw could be on. Imagine that. Carreras, well read that from Legaric on Lucio Cinti. Slightly isolated. And loses the ball. Yeah, as soon as you isolate in that position, I'm not sure. I think it's Francois Croce who's done really well there to win that turnover, but just isolated. And it's amazing. In rugby, as soon as you're slightly isolated, bang, there goes the chance. A bit of a laugh there from Luke Pearce. And once again, we're going to talk about what could have been with Argentina. You know, on the face of it, it's going to be a 14-point loss. The second half has been all one-way traffic, but just couldn't get going from the get-go, and consistently having to chase games. That's the biggest problem. They have to chase games, and they did very well against the Box, and they chased the game and won. But you can't chase it down every single time. Every single time. Right, now France want to get a try of their own and try and extend this. It'll be very, very sad, actually, if they do score. Because all of a sudden it'll look like a bit of a thrashing, which it kind of is, but doesn't quite paint the full picture. It paints a picture of a really good French defense, but Argentina, I think, deserve more out of this game. But they've been responsible for their own undoing, and that's been knocked on by Julio Marchand, and leads to a turnover ball. Surely knocked back. Oh my! You're kidding me? He left it behind Luke Pearce. Right, well, France on the front foot, and Dupont goes to Thomas Ramos. And they're going to go over here. I don't understand how that's not been judged as a knock-on, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, surely you're going to have to ask the question to have a look here. So France are over, and they have scored. It is Emilio Galaton, who's just come on, actually, the centre who's gone over. But I think there's a knock-on in the build-up here. He catches it behind himself and clearly goes forward, in my opinion. But the 21 years old is over. I want to have a look at the moment earlier. So it's a good carry there. And it's in the second phase as they pass it on over here. There, Julio Marchand loses it. And that's got to be forward. Yeah, thank you. How Luke Pearce doesn't pick that up, I don't know. We're now going to go have a look. I mean, for me, it was clear as daylight. They pass the ball behind him. He turns around, basically tries to grab a car, knocks it down, and leaves it behind. It's a clear knock-on. Like, are you mad, guys? Yeah, no try. Put me in the TMO box. Apparently I have to have, like, black background and have to be very, very dark with, like, a little ring light on me. Apparently that's the way the TMO has to look. Right, it'll be a scrum for Argentina. I think if Argentina were to score again, 37 points to 30 would be a very fair reflection of the game. France deserve to win. There's no doubt about that. They have been the better side. But Argentina, especially in the second half, I'd love to know the stats from a second half perspective in terms of possession, for example, because I think they've had a lot of it. 68% possession in the last 10 minutes, for example. The second half, they've really turned up. But you can't turn up for one half. That's the big thing. Argentina just struggle to put together that 80-minute performance. And until they can do that, just never going to come good, are they? Inside their own 22. What can Argentina cook up here? They want to run it inside their own 22, and Santiago Carreras is caught on the ball. Ball fumbles at the back. They're still inside their own 22 here, Archie. A long way to go. Trying to get through the gap there was Thomas Albanose. Gets away from a couple. 30 seconds left. The last play in the game, really. But they'll fight for Argentina. They'll fight to try and score a late try. And Cinti almost makes a half break. And Dazn behind. Currie's going to give this chase, and Ramos is going to kick this back over. And Argentina will have to start once again. A lot of French players all over them, and they're all the way back inside their own 22, which is where they began. It was a clever kick from Ramos to basically just kick it back at them. If he had kicked it to touch, we would have had time for a line out. So by keeping it alive, they basically guaranteed the clock will run down. So this will be the final phase of play. Argentina have gone through 5 phases. Now outside the 22 goes Ignacio Ruiz. Now space here. Someone needs to straighten. I think Oviedo. So it's Gonzalez was straighten. He's had another strong game after that yellow card. Now, Rubiolo. Well, I think for me, probably the find of the year, really. Inside ball. Need to be careful not to concede anything from obstruction there, France. I mean, Argentina, rather. Vieira now. Good tackle. Argentina 10 phase, but still way back inside their own half. Need to find a break. That's a nice carry, though. Franco Molina. Making some yards. Albanose pops it short. Carreras, in fact, pops it short. Now a long pass out wide onto the bounce there to Lucio Cinti. So it's Isgro, actually. Right up against the touchline. Does well to stay inside. And then eventually the ball goes out. And that should be the game. Yes, it is. Luke Pierce says, thank you very much. He's seen enough. And he blows full time. As Charles Olivan thanks him for the game. Well, full time. France deserved winners. Argentina spirited performance. But it's frustrating we continue to talk about Argentina's spirited performance, and I think they are better than a spirited performance. I think they're good enough to go toe to toe, and they've shown that this match in patches. Big improvement this year under Felipe Contepomi. France, well, Argentina this week, New Zealand last week, they've got two very big victories and looking very good. But this Argentina side, I think, is on the up. Thank you very much for joining me, people. We will see you guys all tomorrow for a day of watch-alongs, really. We've got Wales versus South Africa. We've got Fiji versus Ireland, as well as New Zealand versus Italy. So all of that coming up tomorrow. Make sure you come and join us for those watch-alongs. Thank you very much.